Welcome to Friday, everybody. It is Friday, and it is a special Friday because this has been a long time coming. We have got a special guest. We have an African American werewolf in San Diego. No, that's not a movie, but it should be. And that's right, we've got Wolf10 with us. Wolf, say hello.
Hello, Ishi. It's I, the wolf, not Wolf10. His ultimate persona.
You sound like the Shredder, be honest with you. I'm just saying.
Who is this shredder? Must I fight him? He be a worthy opponent for me.
I
Go
think
away,
he will commit
wolf.
kung fu
Hey,
on you. So anyway, Wolf is with us, and we are going to talk about some very, very fun topics. So, which one's going to cause more rage? Everything's going to be all white, or Lord of the Kangs?
Both of them.
Well, let's go for the easier one first. The new
before
Lord of the Rings series.
Before I begin, there's something I wanted to give context to. That last little joke that I made when you talked about yo crazy bitch.
Yeah.
And she throat checked you for having the audacity to measure yourself, within her. If a flashback of a joke from the Hodge twins, by the way, check out the conservative twins, the Hodge twins. They are funny as hell. But I was watching one of their videos, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about a homeboy that they went to the Navy with or the military with, and they were talking about how well endowed he was. And one of their stories was they were stationed at in Hong Kong, and they went to one of those massage parlors. And you know what I'm talking about when I say those type of massage parlors. So they were just there to get the massage, and their friend was going to get the extra stuff, right? And one of the twins heard one of the China women say, "Dick too big, gon' hurt. Dick too big, gon' hurt." When I heard that, I busted up laughing. But yeah, when she throat checked you for your troubles, I was like, oh my god, that made me flashback to "Dick too big, gon' hurt."
So you're talking about when the crazy chick punched me in the face? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
All you wanted to do was measure yourself within her walls. That's all you wanted to do. She was a science project, and she failed.
Well,
Anyways, let's.
look. I had a long-term relationship with a woman who was 4'11". I just don't see how this other woman who hit me had a problem, but who knows? This other woman was actually taller than me, so I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, got a punch in the
But
face
that's
for
history. Today, you upgraded to the profit pillows.
that.
If
yes,
cat's hearing, hi
it had
cat.
a happy ending.
Oh yeah.
So okay, let's talk about the new Lord of the Rings series. Where do you want to start? Black elves, black dwarves, gay dwarves, interspecies relationships.
I mean,
Hot Sauron.
see, already my blood's boiling.
Yeah, apparently he's hot and
Already,
gay. So
already my blood's boiling. So first of all, they got a negress as a dwarf for one, and of course she's gonna be dark skinned, and of course she's gonna be thick as hell. So I see that, and I see Mammy in freaking regal clothing with a beard or sideburns. I'm like, so you would deny us Aunt Jemima, but you're gonna put that fat bitch in that fucking clothing.
it's interesting because more than one person has mentioned that woman does the way they've made her look. She looks like a mammy.
She does. She looks like fucking Mammy. You know, I see this shit when every time they put a black person in what shouldn't be where they should be at, they make them look like the most stereotypical black people I've ever seen. And again, they thirsting for that dark chocolate. Every single time I see their woke black up there. Now, if they're light skinned, oh, best believe they're gay. I'm noticing the signs, Ishi. You better
Okay, wait, let
take
me see.
notes.
So if they're dark skin, real ebony,
Mm-hmm. They're straight.
they're straight. But if they're Dawn lemon colored, they're gay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
9 times out of 10,
interesting.
sometimes they're interchangeable, but majority of the time, if they want a straight black character on their, they want them to be dark skinned because it's better to see them amongst the white people. You heard me.
Yeah, well, the
Eyes and
thing
teeth.
is, honestly, I think if they had gotten like maybe like a very tall, thin Nigerian, somebody who had like a runner's build, they could have pulled off an elf from like the lower countries or something. That might have actually worked, but not
Mm-hmm.
Don Lemon. I mean, he just looks like an underwear model.
Right. Oh, and that light skinned elf, that light skinned black elf, yeah,
Yeah.
he looks stupid. Like he looked like a deer in the headlights with those screenshots I seen. I've seen far too many of his kin in The Witcher. Uh, my wife just had one time got through with this show called Bridgerton. But I don't fault her for that. She's Filipino, so she watches anything she watches. She don't care about none of that stuff that you and I discuss or many of our circles discuss. I just look away every time she's watching it.
Well, okay, so you're annoyed that they've already started stereotyping once again. And we've noticed basically that leftists are the
Mm-hmm.
most racist people on earth. That they've already started doing the stereotypes that, dark black female, savage. Tall, thin, pale, light-skinned black dude, homo. When did you first
Yep.
start noticing this? Because you're right.
Where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Maybe start with Valkyrie a little bit with the A Force and Endgame when she
Yeah.
made eye contact with Captain Marvel. That's probably a lot of people were queer baiting on or claiming that they were queer baiting that one. And Tessa Thompson is light skinned. She ain't dark skinned.
Yeah, but see, that in itself is pretty racist because she's supposed to be Brunhilde. That is an established
Mm-hmm.
character both in the comics and in mythology. There is a very clear description of what that woman's supposed to look like. And she's not a lesbian by any means.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah.
There's nothing to suggest to anything about Valkyrie to suggest that she's either bisexual or gay. I just think she was an aloof woman. She doesn't bear the thought of losing people like she did with the fight against Hela and Thor Ragnarok.
Well, it depends. Apparently, the original portrayal of Valkyrie in the comics was a joke. And really, they should have done what was in the comics if they were really going to go that path. And in the comics, she was a stereotypical man-hating feminist.
Mm-hmm.
She was a complete bitch. And, she was patterned after the behaviors of, actually, she was patterned after the ranting and raving that you would often hear from Gloria Steinem and her bunch, okay? Which was the irony being is that Gloria Steinem would dress up all sexy and then bitch about beauty contests and Playboy.
Oh
Okay?
boy.
So that was she was a parody. And then in the mythology, or at least the operatics, Brunhilde was a Valkyrie who was, I believe, the daughter of Odin, who had given up her immortality and abilities to go be in love with a human. I mean, neither of these fit.
Mm-hmm. None of them. But you mentioned the hot Sauron. See, now I got a problem with that.
I haven't seen, but I keep hearing that Sauron's going to be hot and gay.
See, I don't like that. I always thought Sauron to be this primordial figure, even when he had a body to contend with against the forces of Middle Earth,
Well,
right?
from what Kat told me, okay, and she's more
Mm-hmm.
into it than I am, that Sauron doesn't have a physical form, that he really is kind of this, primordial elemental being, and that he was inhabiting the armor.
Mm-hmm.
And that
That's why
once
he
he lost
exploded
that
when you
ring,
cut
the
off
armor just
the
fell
ring from him.
apart.
Yep.
So yeah, that's retarded in a lot of ways.
So you're gonna give him luxurious hair, pale skin, and a chiseled body, but he's gonna be kissing dudes and sucking dick all day. Okay, that's how you gonna lure people into his thrall, right? Suck their dick and now they're in there.
Well, the one thing I've noticed about the current crop of LGBT, I mean, back in the day, the gay community was entirely, thoroughly different. There was nothing like what we have right now.
The black people
But
was different back then too.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, back in the day, the idea that you would want villains, essentially the equivalent of Satan, to be the gay dude would probably have been somewhat offensive. But they also, right now, they all seem to be in love with villains. They all relate to villains. You remember it was what the clown was Pennywise from
Pennywise.
It was a gay icon. Remember? And they were, oh, he's the new gay icon. And I'm trying to
Oh
remember who
boy.
else they all related to, but it's always the villains.
I had to talk with this in one of my shows too about villains, like this fixation on villains. Like everybody wants to be the bad guy. People are getting tired of being good because apparently being good is so weighty and hard to carry. You have to do this. You got to do that. So many rules. I just want to be myself.
Are you
So you
actually
want to be a
quoting
lazy,
anyone?
maybe.
Really?
I mean, I've heard a few. I've toured through YouTube comments a few times. I've seen people whining, bitching, moaning. They even, oh my goodness, don't even get me started on the invincible comments and or anything about the boys comments, like things that have something to do with hyper violence
Mm-hmm.
and superheroes what doing unsuperhero things, and they say, oh, this is realistic. Oh, this is how it's supposed to be. So you want to go out and murder people? That's how you take care of things. You want to go out and murder people? Okay, get away from me. I pretty much will take your ass out before you try to take anyone else out. I'll be corrupting my own morals doing it. Just saying. The same thing with the superpowers things. The evil Superman. I know we're veering off topic. I'm gonna
Yeah.
digress real quick, but I have to say this. The whole evil Superman and invisible powers and mind control powers. They always turn into rapists, murderers, sociopaths, and serial killers. I'm like, so when I see this, you're not telling me telling me a great story with a great villain. You're telling me what you would do with these powers if you had them.
Yeah, it's kind of
That's
showing
what I'm
what's in their
seeing.
soul, isn't it?
You really telling yourself in that story, man. How we talked about the Invisible Man being a rapist, but specifically with Alan Moore with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen going in a Catholic school raping little girls. Like, oh, Alan Moore, so you would do this if you were invisible?
Rape shows up a lot in Alan Moore's stuff. Just saying. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it just
disturbing just how
seems.
much rape comes up in Alan Moore's stuff, and it's often young
So he
women.
wanted to be a fish man and rape a policewoman too, because that happened in Necronomicon.
Uh,
But yeah, the whole everything's gonna be all white thing. Now that
okay, well, we're going there. We're going there. Okay, tear into it. I'm going to bring up a question too. First, say what you feel about it, and then I've got a question for you.
mhm. Everything that they say is total bullshit. It's just hateful rhetoric coming from their end. Like the statement about the whole, what really annoys me about them is when they kill us. When have white people been killed? Point me into any instances where there was white people that killed another black person because of their skin color. How often does that happen? How often does that happen unprovoked? I'm waiting.
Uh, yeah,
I'll wait. Point to me any instance where a white person just outright just kill a black person in broad, the way how she framed the statement, right? She made it sound like they kill us in broad daylight too. Like a white person can freely kill a black person and get away with it. Bullshit. Complete bullshit.
Yeah.
But obviously she's referencing the cops killing black folk. I'm like,
Well,
bitch, you
let
you
me ask
you
you a
you
question
so
here.
ignorant.
They and we. Who's we? Is she speaking for everyone?
Right.
Sounds like she's the racist.
Exactly.
They kill us? Do you feel like she's your voice?
She be able to get the fuck out of my mouth because she's giving me a bad taste. I don't want no bad breath. That's a stank hole right there. I don't want no stank hole in my mouth. I'm already married anyways. I don't. Why sell for seconds?
A stank hole. I should start
Bitch got
using
the
that. That's a
ugly
great
smell.
line.
Look, the bitch got ugly reeking off her body. I can smell it and see it. Ugly.
Okay, so
She
is there anything
flithered
else you
up like
want to
that. Like
throw
bitch
in,
on
or
crack. Oh yeah, the one brother that's talking about Jesus black. Bitch, you ain't got no fucking recorded document of Jesus and his skin color. You got the Bible. Cut that shit. I'm so sick and tired of
well,
Jesus black.
there's two ways to look at that, and I'm of two minds on that one. Historically, whoever the man was that was Jesus or Christ, okay? Historically, we honestly have no idea what he looked like, but he probably looked Levantine. He probably looked like everyone
Mm-hmm.
else in that part of the world. The mythical Jesus, or not the mythical, the metaphorical Jesus, how about that? Jesus, the symbol, looks like whatever that family tends to be. I mean, you see paintings throughout the world. I mean, there's pictures of Asian Jesus in those homes. There's pictures of Black Jesus. It doesn't seem to really matter. I mean, you go across the world, and usually the rendition matches the culture. Does it really matter? I don't really think it does. But that's my take.
So I got distracted reading the comments.
Oh, it's the comments.
Oh man, some talking about the superheroes. I ain't got them talking already about that. They talking about the Lord of the Rings Sauron specifically.
Oh, do we
Some
need to talk more about that? Because I do have a question about everything's going to be all white.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I got a question.
I'm mad at the fact. Hang on. I'm mad at the fact that they got an Indian, a Native American in the mix too. I could tell he ain't part of no tribe.
Oh, he's a fucking grifter.
Mm-hmm.
There is a specific type of Native American whose sole job is grifter. And, at this point, I don't even care. I'll just say it. There is a certain type of Native American who achieved nothing with their life, and they decide, okay, I'll use my red skin to get by in life. And what they do is they prey on white liberals who are stupid and gullible. It doesn't go any deeper than that.
Wait. You said you're gonna say it anyway. So basically, we're executing Operation Get Behind the Darky.
Sure, why not?
Operation Get Behind the Darky commence. Black Shield activate. Wait, that's soul power. My bad. Activate soul glow.
Underworld, yes. The actual historical Jesus was very likely just looked like any other Hebrew in the area at that time. But what I meant by that is he probably looked like everybody else in his area. Done. But the metaphorical Jesus, the symbolic Jesus that we see in the paintings and in the little idols and all that, that's more reflective of the culture and what the culture can relate to. Because, like I said, you'll find Japanese Jesuses, you'll find Indian renditions of Jesus, you'll find Italian-looking Jesuses, and then up in the Nordic areas, you'll find blue-eyed blonde Jesuses. It's the symbol, it's what it's about that matters. It's just an image to portray, to convey a message, and what the story's about. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, Okay, I'm just going to ask my question about
Go
everything's
ahead.
going to be all white. I have noticed a lot of black men, usually in their 30s and 40s, making videos. I mean, there's a whole bunch of these, and they're all pretty much saying the same message. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this, and the only thing you're doing is making life worse for people like me. Shut up.
I'm in my early 30s right now, and I telling them to shut the fuck up. Sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. You ain't never look. Your measure in comparison to the old civil rights leaders and any person who ever struggled in the past ain't shit compared to what they had to deal with. You ain't. I'm tell you right now. No black person today will ever know what it feels like to be in chains, much less shackles, in a crowded boat across the sea. Nobody will ever know what it feels like to have a whip on your ass, or dogs sick to your feet, or in the case of a woman, had to be forced to lay it on your back while one of your own mounts you vigorously, and you never get to hold your own child. They take him away, and they send him off to somewhere where they can commit that exact same crime over and over, breeding more like them. So you would never know what that feels like. So why are we always bringing up slavery, thinking that everything is the same as the slavery back then? You wouldn't even last 1 minute if you're experiencing that. I
Well,
said
I
this
got
too
a I
one
got a
time.
more recent thing to bring up then.
Oh
If
yeah.
if they're so concerned about black slaves, why do they only care about the ones from a couple hundred years ago? There's nobody that seems to give an ever living fuck about the black slaves in Africa right now, because it's still legal in a lot of those countries and it's still happening quite regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I haven't seen a single one of these BLM fuckers say anything about the black slaves in Africa. Or does it
They
only
don't want
matter
to
when
go.
it's the white person who owns them?
Oh yeah. Like I said in the first stream I did with you, they only care about white racism. I'm sorry, let me correct that. White racism.
Okay, Underworld Dream asks, so black people think ancient Jewish people are black. So does that mean Jewish people have the N-word pass? Well, Sarah Silverman put that to the test and she was shocked that it didn't work. It didn't work out so well for her. She thought she could get away with it.
That's another stink hole.
Yeah. I don't know.
Every
I
time I look
used
at
to
her
just
now.
think she was annoying, but when I did that video about what was it, the Christmas movie she did, Santa
Mm-hmm.
Inc., once I really
Oh,
dug
don't even
into
get me
her
started on
past and
that.
did some research on who she is and her career, I fucking despise her. She is vile. She
Mm.
is another hardcore grifter.
Yeah, she smelled like one too. Remember, I'm a werewolf. I can smell the ugly off of somebody. I can smell the griff off of somebody too.
You know what's interesting about that Harble was when the Ethiopian Jews tried to immigrate to Israel because they were trying to get out of Ethiopia. Because remember, if you're Jewish, you're supposed to be able to have automatic citizenship. The Israeli government told them no. So I don't know. Maybe that's your answer.
I don't understand why the Me Too movement is so rampant on the whole sexual assault stuff when Steph Rogan gets to talk chipmunks, sorry, Chippendale, and yet he's been the proprietor and active participant in rape jokes in his career, his comedy career, and I'm putting that in air quotes by the way.
Well, shit, rape jokes used to be the stock and trade of Sarah Silverman, her husband, Jimmy, Kimmel. All of them used to do tons of them. But I got to answer this
Mm,
one from Marv. Marvelous says, the statues are idolizishi. Idols don't contain the essence of God. No, well, look, okay, first off, I'm an atheist, so you know where this is going. But second, they aren't just any statues used for worship. They are a specific thing. I'm talking about the image, be it a statue or a painting or a stained glass window. And it's what the thoughts and the stories they're attached to. It's just like when you see a word, you see Eden, right? That one word contains an entire book of the Bible in it. Anyone who sees that knows the entire story and why it matters. And those images do the same thing. That's all they are. But yeah, I know about idol worship. And I realize, yeah, if you start actually treating the statue or the painting as the god, like those crazy old ladies, those crazy old Mexican Catholic ladies who will actually talk to the statue, thinking the statue can hear them like it's a telephone. And I do remember there was that movie, Girls Town, which was actually an entertaining film. It was made in the 50s, and it was promoting Catholic reform schools for troubled girls. There is a scene where
Get your ass up here. We need another Negro up here. The more the merrier. I'm gonna be caramel. You're gonna be dark chocolate, and Neil Star. I don't know what his complexion is, but he probably gonna be milk chocolate.
But no, I was going to say there's actually a scene in the movie Girls Town, which was made in the 50s, where the nun is telling, oh God, what's her name? She's really hot. Mimi Van Doren, who's the troubled girl. She's saying, well, it's like a telephone to God. You talk to the statue here. It's like, no, you don't. Anyway, sorry. So keep going.
That's why he says I would love to. I'd be like, wait, that ain't African. How's this, Tawdy? Eat Bombay. Wait, no, we ain't from that part of Wakanda. We from the gorilla tribe. You know, ma fa. See, I'd rather be with M'Baku than T'Challa because he a shit king.
I didn't see the movie.
Well, no. First of all, Ryan Coogler fucked that movie to the ass. He don't know shit about Wakanda. Wakanda ain't no series of tribes. It's a fucking nation. Get that shit right. It's a fucking kingdom. I already spit that shit on my Black Panther rewrite. It's on my YouTube channel. If you want to check that out for a spell, if you want me to link that, I'll tell you what I would have done with that fucking movie. Because first of all, I would have made
let's do it. Can it be saved? Can it be saved? How would you save Black Panther?
I'll just give you the bullet points. So 1, Wakanda's gonna be a fucking nation, not a damn tribe. 2, the romance between Nakia and T'Challa will be well improved, much more so. She's actually a scorned spy. She's also a flunky from the Adore Malaje, which is from Okoye's people, the warrior women.
Okay.
And and Okoye would die because that'll be Nakia's arc in that story where she's now general of the Adore Malaje, which now she's going to be queen next to her king. And Shuri, she will be retooled too. She'll be improved. She's not going to be that goofball tech wizard chick. She's going to be this little timid cub. Her expertise is in the science and the technology, but where she lacks is her combat experience. And of course, Okoye, being the strong military general, will look down upon her lack of fighting prowess, whereas Nakia will be more supportive towards her. However, the theme of that movie, if I was writing it, it'll be T'Challa just been crowned the king with that ring in Civil War. Now everybody is still on the T'Chaka end of rule, how he used to rule, which is he was the panther that pounces. Whereas ever since Civil War, T'Challa is now a panther that waits and then strikes, where he observes and then he makes the assessment. And Killmonger and Claw will be the main villains, and their reasoning for going to Wakanda. Sorry, that's somebody trying to show off their fucking motor. I hope your ass crash.
You keep telling me there's all this noise in the background. I'll be honest, I can't hear any of it. I hope the audience can't either.
Well, I hope so either. I'm just want to throw that out there in case you did. But continuing. So the reason why they're going there, because Wakanda has all the weapons and all the vibranium. They wanted to take those weapons and conquer the world, which would, if I was running Phase 4 of current Marvel, it would be dealing with the 10 rings, and they're part of the 10 rings. But what also is lurking in Wakanda is the Winter Soldier and Crowd Sleep. Because at the end of the Civil War, they put Bucky in Crowd Sleep. So not only do they have the weapons, they'll have the ultimate weapon, the Winter Soldier, and they have that
Okay.
red book. They'll acquire that red book somewhere, and that's where T'Challa will have to fight with Wakanda. You get to see Wakanda rise with him as he's proven himself to be their king. Because yeah, they'll follow him, but they don't. But they have no confidence in him compared to his father. So it's him trying to rise up to the occasion.
Okay, Wolf, don't worry about the background noise. Everyone says they can't hear it. So you're cool.
Oh, cool. But yeah, so yeah, it ain't gonna be this whole border bullshit that Ryan Coogler put in there. Yeah, they actually had a fucking wall message in that one at the end of the fucking movie. Yeah, fuck that shit.
You know, I'm going to be upfront with you. I realize Wakanda, Afrofuturism. It's kind of ironic as you see all these hardcore BLM types going on and on about Wakanda, and they're like horribly racist. Jack Kirby created the idea.
Oh yeah, white man.
Anyway, here's the thing. It's a fantasy. It's a parable. That's fine. The problem is at its core with Wakanda is it's still in itself inherently kind of racist. And the reason being, no, even in the original form, the only reason they got ahead was they got magic metal from space that could do anything.
Oh yeah.
They didn't do it themselves.
Don't even get started on the freaking vibranium the usage in that fucking movie. Apparently it can heal a bullet wound.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically saying without magic metal, they wouldn't have become anything. They'd be like all the other nations of Africa.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's still kind of a problem. Well, you're right. I did not think of that, Michael Connor. Jack Kirby, he's Jewish. Makes him black, right?
Look, the man can give them magical weapons. I thought it was fucking cool. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just like they gave Blade a fucking silver sword to fight vampires in his fucking debut movie. Did I bat an eye all that shit? I thought that fucking sword looked
great film.
I do that pose when he finishes off the last vampire before he fight Deacon. I do that pose every single time he does that. That's how good that movie hit me. If I'm mimicking the movements, I'm loving it. Okay? And people, you hear it in many circles of black folk. There ain't no way no black man can be doing that. Then what you call black basketball players doing threes and G's and stuff like that. Yet this is where you draw the line.
Threes and sorry, I'm lost here. What's a 3 and G?
Shoot a three.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about sports. Okay, somebody wants us to talk about Stacey Abrams on Star Trek.
I don't know the bitch.
Apparently they made Stacey Abrams the president of Earth.
Oh, that's all Star Trek. He's asking you.
Yeah, okay. What's my take on it? I saw the clip. Bromando sent me the clip. My thought is, well, it is called STD, and I'm sure she has a lot of them. So if they want to, if she wants more STDs, it's her problem. They're all pretty diseased to begin with on that show.
Yeah.
My question is why is the fat woman also the slow kid? I mean, did they purposely want her to be like mentally disabled?
Oh,
she's the first mentally disabled engineer or something.
Oh boy.
What?
They confuse retardation with eccentricism.
Yeah. Oh, Doomcock agreed with me that she comes across as the slow kid.
I'm just saying, I don't understand why is mentally retardation is substituted as eccentric. I've seen a lot of eccentric characters that work engineering in many shows I've seen. They don't act like this. From what you're telling me, Ishii, I didn't see the shit.
I've seen like clips. I will not watch it. Actually, I can't. I don't have
One
We
thing
don't
I
have
want
cable.
to say though, Star Trek's hair has sure went through a big downgrade. Their hairstyles, I mean,
Yeah.
freaking Michael Burnham's hair is fucking annoying to look at, and they finally gave her braids, but I'm like, bitch, it's too little, too late. You had that fucking pup ball on her fucking head. I can't unsee that shit. Why are you gonna do that to that poor woman? Why is all these women doing that, putting them pup balls on their head? Look, sisters, we were good when you had the Moesha braids.
Wait.
Not
Redneck says that on STD they had a engineer in a wheelchair in the 24th century. They couldn't fix that, did they? She was such a great engineer, she didn't figure out that they could fix that in the 24th century.
They sure love putting people in wheelchairs for some reason.
I mean, they
Don't
couldn't do
nobody
something
want to
cool
see
like give her
themselves in a
power armor.
fucking wheelchair on the screen. They want to see themselves walking. If I was in a wheelchair, I don't want to see no wheelchair bound somebody. I want to see them get out that wheelchair and walk. I don't dream
Well,
about seeing myself pushing myself on a wheelchair.
they do have rules for wheelchair bound characters in D&D now because it's that retarded. It says, well, you've
Bro,
encountered a trap. It stares.
no. Let me address this real quick because that's really what stings me. Let's get to the heart of this, Ishi, real quick.
Okay, sure.
So, you want to be inclusive with handicapped people. So, for you to think that you're helping handicapped people, you're targeting the thing that they don't want to be constantly reminded of. The fact, like, do they not realize how hurtful that is to remind somebody that they can't walk, much less move if they're quadriplegic? I don't want. Truth be told, if I was in crutches, I don't want to be reminded I'm in fucking crutches. I would fight that shit and work with it, right? But I don't want to be reminded I'm in fucking crutches. Because that's all you're reducing me to. Fucking crutches. That's all you. Is that what it takes for me to be your friend? Is that you feel sorry for me for being in crutches, much less a wheelchair?
Somebody pointed out that they didn't even have the decency to give her a hover chair.
Yeah, Fizz.
Is it at least one of those electric rollabout chairs like Davros?
Stop the presses, Ishi. My homeboy Ivan is here. What's up? What's up, dog?
Ivan Mendoza.
That's a welcome surprise. Don't expect him to be here all the time. He's just here for me.
Oh, okay. So he just loves you, huh?
Well, I am immaculate. I mean, everybody been pressuring your ass to put me on here for a long time.
Well, here you are. You're with us, and
hell, they want me, Fair want me, Janelle, and Ross together.
Hey! Twice. This is the second try here. Remember, your net went down last time.
I don't want to be reminded of that shit because I looked at the backwatch. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't watch no more because I feel embarrassed. And the reason why I feel embarrassed because I had no way of contacting you to let you know that my net was down.
I kind of figured there must have been a problem. You wouldn't just ghost on us. I knew that.
Of course, I'm always a man of my word. Sorry, I'm a wolf of my word.
A wolf of your word.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yep, YouTuber I watch, Robot Shlomo, nicknamed the wheelchair engineer on STD as Tim A. Oh God!
You sit your ass down, Negro.
Look, let's just be upfront.
Telling me to calm down, Titwaldy.
This is Star Trek STD is not Star Trek. Okay, it's not even fanfic. It is Harvey Kurtzman, some spoiled ass rich fuck in Hollywood, jerking off onto the page, and everyone telling him it's so brilliant. The guy has never had actually much success. He's failed upward because he knows all the right people. The guy has no fucking talent. I mean, you ever seen a picture of this guy? That smug smile? You just want to punch him in his face.
I've seen far too many smug smiles.
Yeah, they're all in Hollywood. They all have that smile, including Stacey Abrams. Yeah, I'd punch her in her face, but I think my hand would get
Maybe I
caught
should
in
look
that
this
big
bitch
gap in
up
her
to see
teeth.
what the hell we talking about.
What?
So let me look this bitch up so I can have a good visual of what this bitch look like.
Oh, Stacey Abrams?
Yeah, Stacey Abrams. That bitch.
Okay. It's a little involved who she is.
Ugh!
She is a
That
Georgia
gap
House
tooth
of
bitch?
She served in the Georgia House of Representatives for a while. She lost her election, but yet she's been trying so bad to be vice president. She wanted to be in Kamala Harris's position. She even
Oh
did
my
some weird
goodness, she
photo
is in
spread
Star
dressed like
Trek.
like a superhero. She's a glory hound, and she's not very smart.
She don't look
She's another
smart.
person who has just slid by honor color. You ever notice that whenever the Republicans or conservatives bring in someone who's black, they're usually very well educated. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they sound like they know what they're talking about. And even the crazy ones like Ben. It's Friday. I'm tired. I've been writing all day.
Hey, I've been working. I had like 20
The brain
down there
surgeon.
24 rooms today. Brain surgeon.
Yeah. He ran for president.
Man, Ishii, I didn't even get to pause until I voted for the orange man last
Ben
year.
Carson. It's Ben Carson. Yeah, even Ben
Ben
Carson, who's
Carson.
crazy, is very, very well spoken. He's actually incredibly smart. He's just kind of crazy. Actually, I think he's a savant because apparently he is a great brain surgeon, but he's not all there. But then you
Oh
look at
yeah,
the
you
people.
definitely need to check out. I'm sorry.
But then you look at the people that the Republicans put into power, and I'm sorry, you start just getting flashbacks to horrible movies from the 40s, the caricatures.
Yeah, definitely look up Thomas Sowell, Ishii.
Oh yeah,
People,
Thomas Sowell. He was Reagan's economist.
no shit.
Yeah, and nobody ever gives him credit for that. Yeah, they needed everyone to think Reagan was a racist.
Yeah. The sad
Herman
part
Cain
is,
is insane, but yeah, he was a high-level CEO.
mm.
Honestly, I think Herman Cain deep down is a pimp.
Okay, like I've been saying, I've been living on a rock, so I don't know half these people they keep mentioning.
A lot of these people are kind of last generation. I mean, Thomas Sowell is just still massively relevant, though.
Thomas Sowell is my hero because one thing, yeah, Twali brought this up. Yeah, he's a former Marxist, but the way how he came out of that was very brilliant. In one of the interviews I heard when he brought up that he was a fan of Marx until he realized what the hell Marx was really implementing. I was like, good on you, brother. Good
Smart
on you. Now,
people all tell that story, but yeah.
yeah, I was like, you're one of my new heroes. Because you were killing me when you talk about Dr. King and Brother Malcolm. You know their ugly sides and stuff. I'm like,
Well,
damn, my heroes are getting killed left and right. Now all I got
I
left is Frederick Douglass and George Washington Carver.
hey, don't.
I'm kidding. I'm
I would
kidding.
not shit on Malcolm X. I mean, granted, again, he probably would not have thought well of me, but I actually have a great deal of respect for him. I think that if he had survived, the black community would probably be in a hell of a lot better place. He was an incredibly intelligent man. He could admit when he was wrong, and I think he was on the right track. I really do. It's just a shame, when he started speaking the truth, they killed him.
Yep.
So I have no
By
problem with
racists, no
Malcolm
less.
X. But I was going to tell you about the whole Marxism thing. A lot of people will get drawn in their youth, but they're smart. They put things together, and they're like, "This is evil." Robert Heinlein did that. Akira Kurosawa did that. What's his name? Studio Ghibli.
Miyazaki.
Yeah, Miyazaki, same thing. You saw it in practice. Like, this is evil. David Mamet's another. So yeah, there's a lot of people. Once they just take a look at the truth, that's all it takes.
Star. Why they don't talk about black men no more? They too focused on the black women now. They forgot about us. They easily forget about us when it comes to the black women.
Restate that. I missed half of that.
Sorry, I was saying like Star was asking about the reason behind Reaganomics was a black man, and we don't have a Black History Month about him. Like talk about him, the
Yeah.
shame. Yet they overlook us black men these days. They want to uplift the black women now.
Well,
Baby
they've
mamas
always
and all.
hated Sowell.
Yeah,
They have
and
always hated Thomas Sowell.
even white women, even white feminists.
Yeah. How about Larry Elder? He's brilliant.
Oh
And
yeah,
very
he's
sociable.
another my hero.
So there's still people. The fact is, we just don't know about them because the press goes out of their way to smear them or make sure we never find out.
Mm-hmm. I brought up. I think I brought up Candace Owens one time, and my mom said she don't like her. I was like, why? She can never even explain. Okay, okay. I won't. I guess that'll be a topic I won't talk about then. As long as you don't talk about BLM, because you ain't gonna. Your ear gonna fall off after I'm done. All the shit they done for our people, and they get to live in big houses. Oh yeah, remember that time when we were on that the Boondock stream when I
Yeah.
talked about the house Negro? Those are house Negroes. They get to live in the big house.
Or you mean like Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh yeah, she get to live in the big house. She get to live in the big house. You know why he reacted like that, right?
Keep
I'm talking
going.
about the reason why he reacted like that because a Negro gonna take his position. Candy like him already. He gonna take the big house. Just like a child when you give the other child the lollipop, he get to have the big lollipop. Oh goodness, man.
So, yeah, I mean, there's people, and of course, yeah, you've still got Frederick Douglass and Washington Carver, man.
Yeah. And Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually quite a few. And the problem is unfortunately the sane ones don't really get much credit, do they?
No,
And the
they
reason
don't.
being is that the left needs victims. The moment a minority or a so-called victimized group or oppressed group becomes self-sufficient and doesn't need saving, they're garbage. And unfortunately, there is a fresh supply of Black Americans right now that have no problem staying victims because the Democrats give them stuff. And
Codependency, I call it.
it's dangerous. It's a leash. It really is.
That's basically the really that thanks to Gothics, that's another person you should check out. Gothics.
Oh, she's great and hot. She's a
Yeah,
very
she
attractive woman.
found her way back to Jesus, and I'm happy for her.
Let me tell you, if I was still younger in my industrial days, she would have been someone I would have definitely been hitting on. She had that cool personality too.
She probably like Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. She probably look at you.
Okay, I'll be upfront. She acts Puerto Rican.
Well,
that whole attitude, the way she even talks, she acts Puerto Rican. I'm wondering if that's her descent.
Nah, boo boo. I'm the one who's free. You're the one who's still a slave. Nah, but like the reason why I follow her because once again she's formally what we are fighting against, and now she's come to Jesus, which I'm proud of her. Other than that,
yeah.
So we're still on the black media thing.
We're on anything you want. I mean, we were talking. It's obvious there really just isn't much left to say about the Lord of the Kangs. And I mean, at this point, I mean, unless you've got some sort of burning desire to talk more about It's All White, I'm not sure there's, again, anything much to say other than it's the worst rated, what is it, streaming or...
It's got the worst ratings ever. Okay, that bullshit.
Oh, they're racists.
Apparently, but didn't they also do softcore porn? Now suddenly y'all want to be for the blacks, for the whites, for the Mexicans?
I think we've just got to come to the acceptance that right now the mainstream media establishment really needs this country divided. They don't know how to. If we were all getting along like we were in the 80s or in the 90s and early 2000s and the aughts, it wouldn't be going well for them. Why? Because their political interests need a country that hates each other.
Yep.
I mean, the thing is, when we're all getting along, people don't vote for division. They don't vote for, I'm going to give you stuff. I'm going to protect you from that group over there. Everything's their fault. Vote for me or the world's going to end. Yeah.
So I could tell you how many times I've seen so many quote unquote black historical movies that came out recently that I said, nope. It reeks of embellishment, a lot of embellishment. Maybe some of it's true, but there's some things I'm just like, I'm not feeling good about this. Like the Harriet movie that they came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How the hell are you gonna make Harriet go around shooting white folks when there's never been no recorded history that I know of where she shoot white folk? She run around like a desperado and all those Wild Western movies. That the way how the trailer showed it, I'm like, nope, I'm not watching this shit.
They're really taking it from the stance of the guy who created Roots, which was they're trying to create some sort of noble myth for the black community to rally around at the expense of the people who live next door to them. And he really did say that he created Roots. It's not really very factual at all. And he created it because he said that black Americans needed a mythology based in victimhood.
Hang on, Ish. Okay, Twali, I need you to ease up on that word now.
Huh?
You know, I don't even say that.
What? Oh.
Just need you to ease up on that word now.
You know, my feeling on that word is that we've made way too much of it, that all words should be fair game, and it should be like it used to be, that when that word was used, either it was in jest, like when you call, say, hey, fucker, what's up? And you only can use that with your close friends. You don't go into a store and say, hey, fucker, give me some food. And the other time and when people didn't use it appropriately, like in humor or as a term of endearment for some strange reason, most people thought they were a dirtbag. You know, this weird idea that somehow people were just all the time in the 80s and 90s like that. No. If someone was shooting their mouth off saying that, they were usually a complete shithead and everyone knew it. I mean, once in high school, I remember I used to get a ride home from this punk girl. We were a whole bunch, we all pile into her car and she'd drop us all off. And we drove past this black woman, crossing guard. And one of the guys took a ride home with us that night, hung his head out the window and said, hey, right. And we dropped his ass off and we felt so fucking bad about it. We drove back and apologized to that woman. We all got out. That woman was crying. And it was one of the shittiest feelings I ever had. And I mean, we didn't do it. We had no responsibility for this asshole. But still. And, you would think that, the way that the past is portrayed, you'd think that we would just laugh our asses off and drove off. And no, it wasn't like that. And this is in the white suburbs.
I'm going to give you another story of mine.
Yeah.
There was this one white person that I forgot whether it was male or female, but their car had stopped in the middle of traffic. Me and my homeboys was heading over to I think we were heading out to hang out, right? I looked at my boys and I said, hey, let's go help that person real quick because they stuck in traffic. And we approached. Now, mind you, if you're a white person, you sit in the you driving through LA, right? LA highway.
Okay.
And you see like 3 buzzers walking up towards you, all gangsta. I mean, your mind would think we're walking up to you all gangsta like, but we were just walking, chilling. We just two nerds walking up. I was like, hey, put your car on neutral. We're gonna push you to the gas station. And she did, and he or she did, and we pushed them safely to the gas station.
See, I remember when things were like that. Yeah, I remember when that was not a terrifying sight. Now, maybe at night on the LA freeway, it might have been a terrifying sight, but in general, no. Nowadays, unfortunately, it's probably problems. You think, oh, great, what's going to
I
happen
still
now?
remember Harold and Kumar escape from Guantanamo Bay with that scene where where they get stuck in the hood and you see like 5 black dudes approaching them and they finally start the car and they drove off and the black dude's like, hey, wait, we're trying to help you. They had wrenches, everything ready to fix their car.
Well,
Best joke.
I'll do a story too, but keep going. I got another story like that.
I'm just gonna say that was my favorite joke in that movie. Everything else was trash.
Didn't see it.
Only saving grace for that movie was Kumar gets a girlfriend, and I think Harold gets to marry his homegirl. I think, if I recall, or
So
rather, Kumar actually is self aware that he's a fuck up in that movie. And I was like, okay, cool.
when once Kat and I were driving back from LA, it was probably
Mm-hmm.
one of the worst car accidents I ever got into. This guy, his something was wrong with his tire, I think, but he veered and slammed right into my car, side-ended us, sent us tumbling across the freeway. I just barely yanked on the wheel to avoid hitting another car. We rolled up an embankment, rolled over about 3 times, and we're okay. But the car is upside down. And the next thing you know, I see 4 huge black guys running over the vehicle, and they flip us back over and get us out. They're the guys that hit us. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was the odds.
man.
Things weren't always like this. This was created, and in large part, it has a lot to do with Eric Holder and Obama. The moment Obama got backed into a corner and he started doing a shitty job, he just played the race card.
JC bring up Respect, the movie Respect, which I didn't see either because number one, first of all, they got one thing wrong. The number one thing that they got wrong in that movie, they made Aretha Franklin dark skinned. That one was not dark skinned. You seen Aretha Franklin pictures? There was never a scene.
No.
There was never a picture where she was chocolate, dark chocolate. She was caramel. So that was the biggest mistake that I told my mom this too. I told my stepdad this. I was like, I'm not watching that movie because one thing's for sure they got wrong. They made her dark skinned. So I know they're gonna fuck it up. Big mistake there.
Okay, I got a question. Do you think they're beginning to try and divide the black community between the light and dark?
Oh, they're actually encouraging it more. It's already been a thing within the black community, but they're now starting to encourage it. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, how they're favoring dark skin over light skin now. Um, have you noticed that a lot of dark skins are in prominent roles, like prominent positions in stories, whereas
Uh,
the light skin are more of the artistic and nerdy, but they're also gay. Mind you, Mr. Terrific was an exception because he in Arrow. I mean, Mr. Terrific, he was
I
dark skinned and gay.
I'll have to repeat. I don't watch this stuff anymore. We don't watch TV. I have no idea.
You're lucky. But Mr. Terrific was fine for a while, but the season started making him worse.
I used to
Layers.
really like him back in the odds. He was a great character.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
was
they made him
actually one of my
gay in
favorite
Arrow.
characters back in the. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, Aretha Franklin. Yeah, I clipped it. I like gleamed at the movie a few times because I was still working at the theater at the time. I was like, man, there's something off-putting about this movie. Very off-putting about this movie, and I just can't put my finger on it yet until an historian can actually pinpoint something that's probably wrong with this movie. It's the same thing with Selma a little bit, but I never saw no problems with Selma. But this is before the woke stuff started taking root, like in front of our face at the time.
Yeah.
And I think Selma was like Selma and Straight Outta Compton were like the last black films I ever watched. And after that, I was like, yep, none of this shit, because oh no, Five Bloods. Five Bloods made me quit because freaking Spike Lee can't stop sucking his own dick for 1 second by throwing a few second clips of BLM or any other kind of real world shit at the end of his fucking movies these days. And I washed my hands of his ass long time ago.
it's
I
a
thought
shame
five.
because he is a talented director, but he is a grifter through and through, and he is obviously he's playing what he's playing the artistic black man Hollywood wants.
Oh
He's
yeah,
the fantasy.
he starred in Malcolm X. He was Shorty.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Would not have known. Would not have known. Looking
Oh,
back at the clips
I got
now.
a fun Malcolm X story for you. The movie.
Oh yeah.
I went and saw it when it was in the theaters. I was, I think, maybe a sophomore in high school. It was early high school, and I was just curious. I wanted to see it, and like me and my family were the only non-black people there, the only ones.
Yeah.
And when we were there, I had never been in an audience that was almost entirely black, and so I got my first experience of you say it, brother Mac. The talking to the screen, and when a fight happened, oh yeah, like, it was a lot. But then there was the part where Malcolm X starts talking smack about Christianity, and that he's a Muslim.
What
And like
ever do for me, huh? Whatever you ever do for me?
That the audience just, he ain't Christian. It was like suddenly it was just like it was like the entire audience fell silent, like their entire world had been blown to bits. Like, yeah, Nation of Islam.
Malcolm X was the reason why I read the dictionary for a while.
Oh, why? Oh, because he did?
Yep. And I wanted to learn new words anyways. I wanted to be more articulate.
Well, not a bad thing.
And there were times when now, fun fact, when I was hanging with my homeboy and his wife, sometimes I would say some smart words, as we like to call it in the hood. And she would ask, what that mean? And I'll give her the definition. She didn't mind either, because that was always fun, because there were times people would rely on me to figure out a word or come up with a better word to say. I need to get back to reading the dictionary again. Then again, I'd rather keep my current dictionaries as of right now, since they think about changing the damn dictionary all the damn time.
You don't need to read the dictionary, though. I mean, if you just read
I know.
various books, you see it in usage. And
True.
in a way that's kind of more useful. And then if you do come across one that doesn't make any sense, you can look it up.
True. But like I said, that's the thing that fascinated me about Malcolm X, that he started reading better because of the dictionary. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read the dictionary so I can learn some better words like Malcolm X, starting with aardvark. How old was I when I did that? I think I was like around 15, maybe 20. I think started around 18. Just pick the dictionary, start from aardvark and start reading it down from the A's. I don't know how far I got though. But it's been a long time, so most of those words I'm slowly forgetting.
I want you to address this question. There seems to be a trend to make black men very feminine or gay, to make them non-threatening. And I've got an added question, which is, every time you want a strong, sassy woman who treats people like shit and it's empowering, it's a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? And how do you feel about it?
It's that feminist talk bullshit that they keep spewing out. That's the black feminist talk. They want to. It's basically any Marxist thought process. They want to unleash, as they like to call it. Really, just let loose. No restrictions, no accountability, none of that. So yeah, when you see movies where the sexy, see, they didn't used to be like that in the early aughts, mind you. There used to be the ones that are more demure, reserved. But when push comes to shove, they tell the white folk, This is how it is. This is how I'm seeing it. You need to hear me out real quick. Otherwise, you're gonna go off that bridge. You know what I'm saying? And if and there are times if somebody getting too pushy, they're usually the ones that take charge and help the white folk. Now, that also leads me to this whole nonsense about the magical Negro that the black people keep talking about,
Yeah.
which I got words to say for them about that. So, what's so wrong with the idea of white people coming to us for help for a change instead of us coming for them for help? Every time I saw Legend of Bagger Vance, or any movie where there was a black character that showed up to help the white person get ahead, right? I was like, oh, I feel good knowing that Whitey is gonna come to me asking for help, and not the other way around for once. You came to me for help. That's good. Instead of me coming to you for help for once. Or maybe we can do it vice versa. I don't care. But as
Well,
long as you what felt good is the fact that you came to me for help. That's how I feel whenever if I had to imprint myself into the screen, right? Like they want us to. That's how I feel when I see Legend of Bagger Vance or anything like that, right? I'm like, that feels good that a white man will come to me asking for help for any kind of situation. That's probably why I went to help the white person out of the street.
well, the ridiculous thing about the so-called magical Negro character, okay, and this is again the left trying to control the narrative. First off, that's one thing, and you've really got to question why they have such a problem with it. Um, the quote unquote magical Negro, what they're really doing, the magical Negro is actually a very, very, very old archetype that has nothing to do with race. The magical Negro is just, okay, there's a sage character who's black. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
He's filling the role of the sage, a classic archetype. He just happens to be a black man. Why is that a
Yep.
problem? And the fact is, in our culture right now, at least in the urban areas, I don't know about rural, there is kind of a notion that if a black man is a certain age, he's survived a lot of shit and he knows a lot of shit, which is where the sage figure kind of came from with the black man. Because let's face it, if a black guy's old, he's seen some shit and he survived it. I mean, how many black young men end up in prison or die? It's a ridiculous number.
Yeah. I was looking at Victoria's comment about the minority best friend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's yeah,
Oh, there you
I
go.
got
Retnick's got it right.
let me see. The shaman, the dark continent warlock, the witch doctor, the voodoo priest. Yeah.
Or the mentor.
Yep. Well, again, like you said, those roles can be filled by any skin color.
Right.
Not necessarily a minority. They think that that whole role is they have to slap something else on to have a problem with it.
But what do you think Mr. Miyagi was?
A kung fu master. Sorry, a
He was the
karate master.
sage. He was the wise mentor. He was the one who went to, showed Daniel, hey, see? He showed him how to be
Yep.
a man.
Hey, Daniel son. Wax on, wax off. Hey, nope.
So
Wax
so is
on.
it so is it that black people or black men can't be portrayed in that role? Is that offensive to show them as wise and knowledgeable and mentoring others? I mean, that's apparently a problem. Why?
You
You
just
got to
don't
really
want white people
ask.
to come asking us for help. Yet you got these idiots that acting like they want to help us, but then it's all a bunch of bullshit. How they have this whole reverse thinking. All I gotta do is wait, but would that make me racist? Oh, I gotta do that. Would that make me racist? Am I stepping away too much? Would that mean I won't be able to help them then? I don't understand how anybody could live like that. When you really think about their logic, it really is self defeating.
Well, it's all based on keeping people in the role of victim,
Hmm.
is what it is. And the reason for it, because we could say that it's entirely the fault of the left or Democrats, but it isn't. I mean, it isn't, because that cell, that con job doesn't work all the time. For instance, when the Japanese Americans came to the United States, the first thing they did was try and become self-sufficient. And when they got out of the camps, same thing. They didn't go to welfare. They tried to get self-sufficient as possible because, well, if you depend on someone, well, you need them. And would you really trust the U.S. government? Not with that track record.
No.
The two ethnicities in this country that have gotten the most assistance from the government are Black Americans and Native Americans, and they're the worst off. Why is that?
Too many handouts, reduced to childlike minds. That's what they want us to be. Noble savages, as they called the Native Americans. And I'm pretty sure they slapped that shit on us too.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Because what they thought of us when they rolled us out the ships, they thought of us a little more than savages too, because we had loincloths, apparently. As
Half a
depicted
person.
Pretty much.
So yeah,
and even then, they ain't the ones who netted us. Our African enemies put us on those ships too.
Well, they continued business even when both England, then Europe, and the United States all ended slavery. The trade actually continued for quite a long time. I don't think it really ended till the late 1800s, maybe. And yeah, the biggest purchaser was the Middle East. Never hear about that.
Yikes. I wonder why.
And do you know why the Middle East didn't, after most of that, when the slave trade ended and a lot of those countries supposedly ended slavery, do you know why they didn't have an indigenous Black population afterwards?
Lay it on me.
Because when they could no longer keep them as slaves, rather than give them rights, they killed them all to prevent an indigenous population. I like this country, who made them citizens.
Yo, lefties. You got anything for that?
Tweldy says that Muslims have been the biggest slave traders. I don't doubt that, actually.
I don't doubt it either.
So one thing that Jasmine Contours had said that made it very difficult for her is she had said that part of the problem was that the Black identity and the Black story right now is inherently tied into a victim narrative, and to let go of it is to let go of that identity. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we've been conditioning ourselves to, that's been conditioned by many others, race grifters and white folks alike. That it's a lot of deconditioning that we have to go through with each other, and sadly nobody's stopping that either. It's a shame.
I think the first step is to get fathers back in the house. I really think that is the
Larry
first
Elder
step.
has said that. Thomas Sewell has said that. Even Denzel Washington, my other hero, has said that. Where is his father? Oh yeah, where is his father? So
Denzel's kind of the exception, isn't he? He's one of the few people in Hollywood that says what he really thinks and doesn't just go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved when he got the Academy Award, what he said about it. It was him and Halle Berry both won an Academy Award, and they asked him, he says, "Y'all are really trying to tick all the boxes, aren't you?" It's like, shit.
You're the real one.
That really impressed me. It's like, okay, yeah, this guy's real. He isn't full of shit. He is going to tell you exactly what he thinks.
Twally has a comment about Saudi Arabia.
Oh, he said, "I was born in Saudi Arabia, and they looked at us like things." Well, then why don't you share what the word for Black person is in Saudi Arabia? What it really means. I want you to say it.
Conservative Twins had I think he was a Marine. I could be wrong, but they had a Marine on one of their videos, and he talked about his time in Afghanistan. And oh my goodness, it was a horror story.
Yeah.
Yikes! It turned my whole idea of everything that they were pushing in the media about Afghanistan and Iraq completely over his head. I was like, man, all this time I've been siding with the bad guys.
The Middle East in general, I mean, if we want to secure oil, fine. I mean, I don't think American lives should be lost over that. But if it's buying oil, that's one thing. But this whole thing about nation building, no. Uh, the American dream, the whole American philosophy, the whole time that we've been here is a drop in the bucket compared to the Middle East. They've been like that for thousands of years. We're not going to change it. If they didn't change it themselves, we're not going to do it. Nobody's been able to do it. Okay.
Neil Star, a lot of things that they push these days is nothing but a grift. Looking at his intersectionality comment.
That's a tough, fellas. There's not only a 70-30 difference between black women and black. Oh my God, it's that bad?
Mm-hmm.
Black women have bought the feminist grift hook like an yeah. Actually, what was it? The "Don't Need No Man" came out of black feminism, didn't it?
Yep.
That was how it was.
After once Angela Davis just jumped in. I mean, the white woman.
She's evil.
Yeah, it started with the white men say, the only way you can join us is if you leave your husbands, and they cook up a narrative stating that a lot of black men were wife beaters. That's where we got things like the color purple.
Ike Turner,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Tina Turner was not happy about What's Love Got to Do with It from a colleague of mine.
yeah.
She didn't like how they made him an outright monster. Mind you, everything she said in her memoirs was true, but the way how they portrayed him was very monstrous, even to the point where, like, the scene where he outright maritally raped her in the studio. I was like, okay, that's ridiculous, especially how it's acted out. And it's like, what? And she said that never happened too. I was like, oh, no wonder. Because I mean, Lawrence Fishburne, bless his heart, he went all in on it, and it's supposed to be dramatic, but after he leave, he I was like, oh man, you done made it funny. And I'm not supposed to look at this as funny. He even shook his head and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness, like you could kind of tell that Lawrence was not okay with this scene, so he had to do something very ridiculous for that scene. Don't you think?
Okay, so I have to ask a question then. Enlighten me on the 70-30 disparity. I don't know anything about this, so
I don't know anything about that either. Neil Star just brought it up.
So is it really a 70-30 difference between the population of black men and women?
I think so.
Thank you, QLD. He answered my question. I wanted him to approve. Yeah, the word abdu is Arabic for black person, means slave.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So the 30 and 70%, man, we're depopulating ourselves. I'm not saying that's the the metric or anything like that. I'm just saying that's what my speculation is falling in. Meaning the abortion situation, the gang violence. I mean, they keep pushing that message of how police officers are killing black folk here and there, right? I'm like, I've seen more black folk killing black folk than the police officers. Fuck y'all with that shit. Fuck out my face with that bullshit. And I keep bringing my mom up, but she told me one time during 2020, right? She said, I'm scared of you and your brother more than ever when it comes down to the police. I'm like, Mom, the only thing I'm more afraid of is my own people shooting me than the police.
How'd she react to that?
She still stayed the course. Yeah, but it's different now. Times have changed. No. You can tell me that. I'm telling you right now, I'm more afraid of my own people than the police. Every time I see them, I get tense. I tense up. Police, I'm relaxed. I even waved to them, shook their hands, give them high. I say, "What's up? How you doing?" Black people, what's up? I weave around which ones is the smart ones and the ghetto ones. The smart ones, I'm like, "What's up, brother?" The ghetto ones, I don't look at them. I look at them, but I just walk away. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't even want to hear what comes out your mouth because I know it's gonna be something stupid.
What's the giveaway?
The way they talk, mostly
Oh, okay. So it's what,
ghetto
Ebonics or
talk.
whatever.
Well, not no. Ebonics is yesterday news. It's ghetto talk. What's up,
It's ghetto
cuz?
talk now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You can hear it from you. You said it a few times when every time you described a black person in your stories. What you
Oh,
what you what you
the
yeah
ghetto
what you
talk.
mimic what you mimic is ghetto talk, not Ebon. Ebon says eyes here, master.
Eesh.
Still eyes rise. I was gonna cook me some chicken, some cornbread. We're gonna have a good time here, master. That's that
So
Ebonics.
so essentially, Ebonics is the English of the slaves imitating how Southerners talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that's where it comes from.
Yep. Then we upgrade to Jive, which is, "Hey Jack."
Well, jive was very marketable.
I love Jive. I want us to go back.
There was actually some poetry to that. I didn't mind that.
Yeah, we had things like Dolomite hymns and stuff like that. Come on, man. Can we go back to Jive?
Oh, the toasts. Yeah, those are hilarious.
Toast? Yeah, man. All that stuff. They constructed oceans of metaphors with that type of talk.
Yeah, that
Then we
was one
got
thing. I guess that's still to some degree a reality, but for a very long time, it was the Black community's way with words that was kind of informing our lingo and slang. It's not as much anymore, but in the 70s and 80s, especially, well, even the 90s, was definitely kind of what dominated it. Of course, there was also the saying that the moment your mom and dad said it, it was no longer used, it was out.
hmm well, the truth of the matter is we have no set stance of what it means to be black anymore nowadays. They have adopted a lot of things from white leftists and everything now. Is and even then they're co-op they're co-op in their lingo this time too. I mean,
I notice
somebody said
everyone's using
earlier,
y'all now.
oh, that's a southern thing though.
Yeah, I know, but I've noticed that's kind of the thing now.
Well,
Like,
well,
okay,
that's fine. I mean, I don't have no problem with y'all. What I'm saying is, like I said earlier, they want to stamp on something for them to attack you. So
I
when
see.
you see why coon comes back, right? Now white
It
people
comes
get to
back
say
and
it.
it means the opposite now.
Yeah, and even then, you notice how white people are using it now, and nobody is batting an eye over it because now you made the person you don't agree with a bad guy, not necessarily a victim anymore. We cease to be a victim when we don't kowtow to the victimhood mentality. I
Okay,
mean,
so
Larry
you
Elder,
said you're.
he's the black face of white supremacy. The fuck? So you got, like I said, you got to
I dare you to
slap
make
on
less
something.
sense.
What I'm saying, you got to slap on something for you to attack now. Just say you don't agree with the man. Why he has to be the black face of white supremacy? So wait. So basically, are all black people white blackface now constantly? Is that what you're telling me now? I'm sorry, Isha, I'm taking over your
Uh,
stream.
okay, so one more question, and then we're going to call it a night. You were saying that your community is depopulating itself with the
Yeah.
if that 70-30 split is really true. But I am kind of seeing something else, and that is I'm not really seeing black men date black women anymore. They're dating a lot of white women. Do you think that might be a factor?
In some ways, yes, and I can tell you why.
Okay.
We don't need you no more. We got daddy government now. Well, bitch, fine. Go marry daddy government. I'm gonna chill with this white bitch, or this China bitch, or this Chola bitch. I, they care to me. You ain't caring to me no more. I'm going to where the sun shines and the grass is greener. I don't, you say you don't need me. I don't need you either. I can find me a woman that's gonna please me. So yeah, we gonna have some mixed babies. We gonna cease to be black, but I'm gonna be thriving. You gonna be miserable. Okay, fine.
Youch. I'll only post this because Taweldi said it.
They are. They they don't stand for anything, so they fall for everything. They ain't fall for their own mothers. No, I'm not talking about sleeping with their mothers. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is their mothers breed this idea of, you're gonna find a man that's gonna lead you, find a man that's gonna treat you like a dog. So, they give you these standards, these expectations that you're supposed to find in a man. They ain't never gonna find it. It's not, and the sad thing is, it's not really a black thing. It's a universal thing when it comes to women, anyways. That they have this idea that they have to have a man that's making six figures. Well, how is he making six figures if you're making six figures? Or rather, how he gonna make the six figures when you making way more money than he is? They're fighting their nature, and the nature is biting back at them in the ass, and that's why they're so miserable.
I wouldn't disagree. Um, one more here, and I think it's time to call it a night. I'm going to need to get some dinner anyway. Uh,
E-
Anime Acid Trip says black women got it the worst because commies made them look like the most violent people alive who can't get no man. Who'd pick up a sweet little Mary or Big Mama ball buster? I think the other problem is that lefties have pretty much given them a free pass on violence and encouraged violence. They're actually being actively encouraged to be the most violent people on earth and applauded
Victoria,
for it.
you've been with me this long, and you're still questioning whether you should be offended?
Wait, who?
Victoria Fact dial. I'm not sure if that's towards what I just said earlier.
I didn't even know she was black.
Oh, I knew. Well, she already said it so many times on my stream.
I actually like the fact that everyone is just kind of an icon until I actually get to know them. I prefer that. It's been a pleasant surprise to me, actually. I mean, there's a lot of bad things about the disconnection and the not face-to-face nature of the internet, but that isn't one of them. I've been so pleased to get to know a person first before even making any assumptions.
I don't know what's going to take for the black people to heal, but I think I think it has to be started with the black fathers being back in the
Yeah,
house. Let go of the history, learn from it, but let go. Finally, let go. Nobody's actively attacking you every damn day, and they're conditioned to think that every day when they leave, there's racists ready to stop them, ready to like they're the old school villains hiding in the bushes. you know.
I hate to say it. I've got a friend who actually is from Nigeria. Spent quite a bit of time in England. I mean, he's wealthy too. I mean, he's extremely, like, ridiculously wealthy. And then spent time growing up in Anaheim, right? And I've noticed even though he's from Nigeria, um, will often make assumptions. Oh, well, it's because I'm black. It's like, oh, everybody has that problem. That's just life. It's like, I don't know. Of course, he also believes what mainstream news is saying. So,
Oh boy.
all
Yeah, I
right.
gotta deal
Well,
with that every day at work. We our TVs are programmed to turn on CNN, so I have to
oh God, I'm
listen
sorry.
to what. Yeah, and I'm like, I said this in your stream one time. I said my neck should be strong by now. How many times I shook my head at the shit they pouring out in CNN. But one thing before we go, Ishi, I'm
Yeah.
surprised that you picked out one of my pictures to post as a thumbnail.
I'm sorry. Should I not have?
No, it's fine. I'm so surprised you picked the one I'm least embarrassed about.
I picked the one that looked male. That was all. It was the only one I could find that was
I
male.
ca- Look, I caught that while I was at work. Right, I was like, oh, he picked the bad guy.
Oh, I have no idea. Well, like I said, I picked the only male I could find in your
Well,
portfolio.
the thing is, it's my fault because I haven't been producing art lately. I've been kind of burnt out. I've been trying to get myself motivated to start doing more art. So it's like I don't only wanted to tease you about that. It's like, oh, of all the characters, he picked the one that's actually the main villain in two of my stories.
I didn't even know. Well, you'll
Well,
need to draw an avatar then. If I couldn't find one on your Fur Affinity site.
oh wow. Well, I should have shared you my Wolf Commander persona then.
Yeah, I would have used that instead.
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Wolf, and thank you all for joining in. I hope you enjoyed this.
I did.
Okay, I got lucky on what? On anime. That's the problem is people will fire off these comments and
Well,
like,
no,
oh, well, that was 20
everybody
minutes ago.
assumed. Well, here's the thing. Before we even started, he everybody assumed that a lot of first was gonna raid the chat.
Oh, okay.
Earlier, earlier in the comments, I said he wait a minute. Okay, the chat ate it up, so I can't find it.
You know what?
Oh,
Actually, that is the one thing we forgot to do. You were going to set me straight on furries and correct all my misassumptions. We'll have to do that next time.
yeah, next time.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, good.
just to answer Rhett's question in the thumbnail. He cropped up Bastion. That's not Sybil in the thumbnail. That's Bastion. Sybil's ears is in the thumbnail though, at the bottom. But yeah, let's get out of here because I got work in the morning.
All right. Well, go buy a t-shirt, everyone. Good night.